Good morning, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here in the Home Weather Office with another detailed update on Major Hurricane Milton for Tuesday, October the 8th, 2024. And as we do look at the visible satellite imagery, the system has exhibited some re-strengthening after the eyewall replacement cycle, and it does appear that the center now is moving a little bit to the southeast. Here's a look at the latest visible satellite imagery showing us that the eye is cloud filled, but in recent frames it is slowly starting to become more evident in the visible satellite imagery. We'll see how this little short-term wobble occurs, and we'll see how far south this actually gets before it moves to the northeast. Looking at the, looking at the latest infrared satellite imagery here, we can clearly see that there has been some warming of the eye wall, or some warming of the eye, I should say, not the eye wall, of Hurricane Milton, indicating that the system may have strengthened a little bit more. We're waiting for a Recon pass to penetrate the system. We will get that in here in a little bit. But as it stands right now, the system is strengthening again. We are at 150 mile an hour winds. And yes, here it is. They did not get the most intense part of the system yet. As we can see, pressures are about 963 millibars. So we'll see if the pressure has dropped any further here. Hold on, you guys. Sorry about that. So, oh man, this is why I wish I can live on my own. So here's a look at the Air Force 309 mission into the system, and as we can see here, the winds have increased, of course, because they're getting closer to the center, and they have found almost 150 knot winds. We will see with what they find on the other once they get through the entire eyewall process. But as it stands right now, the system is quite intense. And when we look at, looks like that page is out. Here's a look at the National Hurricane Center, looking at the center, and actually let's zoom in here so you all can see this. You can see right now hurricane warnings are in effect, and this is still expected to be a Category 3 at landfall with 125 mile an hour winds. So right now it doesn't matter if they bumped this up to 130 or 125, or they lowered it a little bit to 120. It doesn't matter right now. All evacuation or some evacuation orders are in place. I'm going to look for the website to those evacuation orders in this live stream. But right now, the entire central portion of Florida right now, including Ocala, Florida, and right now, is under a hurricane warning. A hurricane warning has been issued for the entire central portion of Florida. Southern Florida under a tropical storm warning. Northern Florida under a tropical storm warning. Hurricane watches surrounding that. We have tropical storm watches, hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings surrounding the hurricane warning. And then, of course, in the yellow is tropical storm watches. And yes, not even in the United States, we do have tropical storm watches out for Great Abaco in the Bahamas up here. So just to show you that this system is going to expand its wind field pretty dramatically. In fact, it's already beginning to do that just slightly. But still, relatively a compact system, to say the least, as this is moving to the northeast. So yes, if you're under, since Tampa's under a hurricane warning, catastrophic to perhaps unsurvivable impacts are expected with this. So now, by the way, the landfall time with this is shifted to now still for Wednesday late night, right around 11 or so, maybe 2 in the morning for Thursday. Now, the most likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds will be now Wednesday night. So it looks like about 8 p.m., just maybe shy of 8 p.m., a little sooner than that for Tampa Bay. We'll get tropical storm force winds. By the way, this is Eastern Daylight Time, so this is local time. And there is now a 100% chance for tropical storm force winds to arrive in the Sarasota area, in Tampa Bay, as well as Cape Coral in Florida. If you are seeing a 100% chance of tropical storm force winds, that means tropical storm winds are expected within a few days, and that's what, or in a couple of days, or wait, in about 36 hours or so. This has another like 20-ish hours to intensify, maybe a little shorter than that. And then tropical storm conditions are expected by early Thursday morning for the east coast of Florida over Daytona Beach, that area. And this would be moving offshore. But now it looks like Bermuda has now a non-zero chance. This has a 10% chance of tropical storm force winds for the Bermuda area, and also up over here across northern Bahama Islands, seeing now a 40 to 50% chance of some tropical storm force winds. So now the key messages are as follow, and I really want to iterate on these. This is very important, folks. This is extremely important. Damaging hurricane force winds and life-threatening storm surge with destructive waves are expected across portions of the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. A large area of, actually across the Yucatan Peninsula today, a large area of destructive storm surge with highest inundations of 10 feet or greater are expected along portions of the west central coast of Florida Peninsula. If you are in a storm surge warning area, this is an extremely life-threatening, perhaps unsurvivable situation, and you should evacuate today if ordered by local officials. There will likely not be enough time to wait to leave on Wednesday, so please leave now. And I repeat, now is a time to get evacuations in place. If you are under an evacuation order, please heed it. Evacuate now if you are told to do so. Okay? Devastating hurricane force winds are expected along portions of the west coast of Florida, where a hurricane warning is in effect. Milton is expected to, or is forecast to remain a hurricane as it crosses Florida Peninsula, and life-threatening hurricane force winds, especially in gusts, are expected to spread inland across the peninsula. Preparations to protect life and property and to be ready for long-duration power outages, possibly lasting days, if not a couple of weeks, should be complete by tonight. All right? So any preparations because of power outages, long-duration power outages, need to be completed by tonight, okay? Heavy rainfall across the Florida Peninsula through Thursday brings a risk of life-threatening flash and urban flooding, along with moderate to major river flooding, especially in areas where coastal and inland flooding combine to increase the overall flood threat. So again, when you think about it, you get storm surge flooding combined with freshwater flooding due to heavy rainfall. That's really going to make things a lot worse than better. All right, so looking at the storm surge forecast here from the National Hurricane Center for Tampa Bay, there is a 10 to 15 foot room here of storm surge. Yes, up to 15 feet. All right, and someone said in the chat yesterday that due to high tide, because the moon's going to be up in the sky at this time, the tide could be high enough to actually exacerbate the storm surge. So there's a risk here. Storm surge could be up to 18 feet in some areas here of Tampa Bay. And that is as serious as it gets from the National Hurricane Center. Perhaps greater than 15 feet in many areas here. Isolated areas, again, maybe up to 18 feet. Bonita Beach, 6 to 10 feet. Yankeetown now expecting up to 5 to 10 feet of storm surge. So even though up to 10 feet, which is above your head, is expected north of Tampa. The only good news I would say about this is if you are in Western Florida, you're safer than sorry. Indian Pass and Swanee River only have a risk of about 1 to 3 feet of storm surge, which is still very significant. 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. St. John's River, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge is anticipated. Port Canaveral as well as Sebastian Inlet is also looking at 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. Please take this extremely serious. We're talking about a historic event in the making here for Tampa Bay, Florida, and Charlotte Harbor, and any preparations today need to be completed, including evacuations. If you are told to evacuate, you need to do so. Do not stay behind. This is not the storm to do that, folks. This has the ability of being worse than Helene. Actually, it will be worse than Helene because Helene did not impact a densely populated area at landfall, but this one does. And so this could be worse than Ian. This could be worse than Helene itself. All right. And this could be one of the worst hurricanes to impact a population area in at least in a lifetime, up to 100 years in some cases. So yeah, this is nothing to mess with. Rainfall forecast here. This is additional rainfall, by the way. Over a 3-day period, Tampa Bay could see up to a foot of rainfall guaranteed over portions of Ocala, Florida, as well as, say, just north of Daytona Beach, Florida. This actually around-ish Daytona Beach could see up to a foot of rainfall. And some isolated areas could see greater than a foot of rainfall, which is, again, on top of the storm surge flooding. I'm telling you, this is as bad as it gets. All right, even so that, it's going to weaken at least, David, to a Category 3 hurricane. It doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter if it's a Cat 3 or not at this time. What matters is the impacts, and the impacts are looking extreme right now. Don't focus on the category as much with this, because that's only one impact, and that's usually with wind. All right, so they did get the center. Let's see what they found. And yes, the pressure has dropped significantly. Pressure is down to now 924 millibars, according to the latest Recon pass. So the pressure has dropped significantly with this hurricane. The winds have not increased. We'll see what they find on the northeastern side, but I wanted to make it clear in this live stream that the pressure has dropped 5 millibars within the last hour. And the system right now is actively re-intensifying at the moment. So this, we'll see how long eye is opening up. Someone said it doesn't matter if the eye is opening up right now. This is still a powerful hurricane. We'll be looking at some radar images if I'm able to get those good enough today. Which, by the way, some of you are saying that the eye is opening up right now. This is not certain. The fact that the pressure has dropped means that the system is intensifying, and this is very far out in the radar beam. This is not very close, so I would not really rely on radar data, given the fact that this system is rapidly reorganizing and strengthening. All right, so now when looking at the flood threat right now, Tampa Bay now under a high risk, and I called this, folks, in yesterday's live stream, that I knew that there would probably be a high risk issued in this area, and unfortunately that has come to pass today. Orlando, Florida, under a high risk of flooding. This is the most serious risk of flooding category you could get. Basically, in other words, there's a 70% chance of life-threatening major flooding in your area. Tampa Bay, very populated area, of course, very densely there, including for Sarasota, now under a high risk for heavy rainfall and flooding. We are looking at extreme river flooding and small stream flooding within this storm. And then, of course, Jacksonville under a major risk for flooding. The only areas that are in some good news, or most likely good news, would be Tallahassee. There is only a margin, and there's not even a marginal risk there. Charleston just to the north of that, but Savannah, Georgia, under a marginal risk of flooding. Miami, Florida in better shape than what we thought earlier on, with a slight risk for heavy rainfall. But it's this corridor north of Cape Coral, all the way north into, say, Cedar Key, Florida. This whole corridor here is expected to see the worst impacts in history, perhaps. And that's what we're dealing with. So now to the storm surge here over Clearwater, St. Petersburg here, looking at this map in great detail. Again, make sure you guys subscribe and share this with your family and friends. All right, because we are looking at a life-threatening, unsurvivable situation. And you can see here the storm surge map. Let me actually turn this down a little bit so you can see your area in more detail. And what we have here, town and county, or town and country, Oldmar is expecting to see storm surge here greater than 6 to 9 feet above ground level. Look at some of the storm surge here could submerge these causeways. Some of the bridges too could get submerged because of how high the storm surge actually is. Feather Sound could have up to say 10 to maybe 15 feet of storm surge. Anything in red here, Lost River Preserve, if you're in Ruskin, Apollo Beach, Garden City, if you are in, again, the metropolitan, yeah, even up here along this little river is going to see some big time storm surge. And we do have a live earth camera in Tampa Bay that we will be able to bring up here, showing us that river and see if it actually is going to swell and actually cause a lot of problems. But down here to the south, Holmes Beach, Bradenton Beach, expecting to see up to 10 plus feet of storm surge. And look at this, all the way up to the north, we're looking at some the worst case scenario, Treasure Island, North Redding Beach, looking at storm surge greater than 9 feet above ground level, possibly up to 10 feet. But the further south you go, because the track has shifted a teeny bit southward, these areas like Sarasota could now be in the crosshairs of some of the worst impacts ever recorded in that area. So this is to be taken really seriously. Don't take this lightly at all. Okay, Skyway Fishing Pier State Park, expecting to see extreme storm surge. But look at this. Vinins. I said that correctly. Vinins is expected to see up to maybe 10 plus feet of storm surge. South Creek, Osprey, looking at up to 9 feet of storm surge. It is not good. This is not good. And look at really concerning down here, this whole area in red. Port Charlotte, boy, Punta Gorda, gonna see extreme amounts of storm surge here. Anything in red is essentially ocean moving onshore. Venice, something like that. Either way. All right, Cayo Costa State Park. Sorry, that's a tongue twister name. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. Okay. Cape Coral, Florida, Cypress Lake. Looking at some significant amounts of storm surge here. Anything in red is storm surge greater than 9 feet above ground level, and this goes well inland here. Look at this. If you're in Bob James Preserve, gonna see some storm surge inundation over there, and this could go a little further inland. The map doesn't go out. The data point cuts off right here, but I would say storm surge could go all the way up into Indiana in Florida. And then down here further south, looking at extreme amounts of storm surge. Not looking good at all. If you are in the west coast here of Florida, and all preparations need to be rushed to completion. Hudson, Aprica, as well as Port Richey, looking at storm surge here greater than 9 feet above ground level. All right, so actually, yeah, the red is 9 feet. If I'm, yeah, 9 feet above ground level. So anything in red is catastrophic at this point. So right now, we're waiting for the next pass of recon data to get in there. And they have not found maximum winds of over 150 knots, but they have found winds still supporting at least a Category 4 hurricane. So the system has not intensified, and it's probably due to the fact that the wind field has expanded a little bit at the same time. So the pressure may be falling, but that has not led to a wind speed increase yet at the very moment. That could happen soon, though, given that the pressure has fallen recently. So please show Estro, Florida. So Estro, Florida is, let's see, Astrio, Florida. So yeah, that's down there where the storm surge is going to be really bad. So if we go back to our storm surge here really quickly, that is over here. So yes, it's hard to see. It's on your screen, but yeah, you are going to see storm surge here greater than 3 to 6 feet, possibly depending exactly how close to this little estuary you live. You might see storm surge up to 9 feet. Up to 9 feet. But yeah, Port Richey is up here. I was just over there. So Port Richey is up in here. And so, yeah, Hudson, yeah, Port Richey is expected to see up to almost 9 feet of storm surge. 9 feet of storm surge in that area. Okay. So this is not good at all with the storm surge. Now I need to move on because we do need to look at our models. Which, by the way, this is a 150 mile an hour hurricane. So let's go back and look at this. Actually, we did look at, this is it right here. Same thing, but the legacy version. I really cannot state it enough. I've got to iterate on this. Winds are 150 miles per hour on this right now. This is a high-end Category 4 hurricane. I mean, very close of a Category 5. Even so it's not a Category 5, this is still a catastrophic situation in progress, okay? So that's why we need to take this seriously, as it would be if it was a Category 5. Because, yes, how much weakening does this encounter? And it doesn't look like it's going to encounter a whole lot of weakening before it makes its way on shore. So here's a look at the latest hurricane models. Again, this is probably, overdone given the current intensity of the hurricane. So right now, pressures are 924 millibars. This is a little higher than what our HWRF is showing, but it does give us kind of a general rundown that the system will maintain its intensity through pretty much most, or if not all of today, and will begin to slowly weaken by tomorrow morning as it encounters that wind shear. And right now, the landfall point is still expected to be north of Tampa, according to our HWRF model, and it will likely be around early Thursday morning. This would be about 5 in the morning on Thursday. Actually, generally in the morning hours on this particular model. Actually, you know what? Landfall would be at 8 in the morning, so this is pretty a lot slower than the previous model. So it's been slowing a little bit back and forth here with exactly what time the landfall is going to be. But it looks like now late Wednesday into early Thursday is what we're still thinking. So that's the HWRF model. What about the HMON model on how strong this actually gets? Right now, assuming that the pressure here, being well modeled here on the HMON at about 924, 925 millibars. Actually a little deeper on this on the current analysis than what the HMON is showing. And it does show the winds quite nicely here with those winds, and again, around that 150 mark. So this system might remain as intense throughout, or will likely remain as intense throughout the day today, with winds between 145 to 155 miles an hour. I'm not seeing a Cat 5 anymore unless surprises do happen and this does try to become a Cat 5 again. But this would be making landfall over Tampa Bay here by Wednesday late night. Now, again, we're going back and forth here with the HMON showing a weak system or a not very weak system. So there's a lot of uncertainty here on exactly how strong this will be when it moves its way onshore over Tampa Bay, Florida. But all you need to know is that if this wind speed max, by the way, right down here, rotates all the way in to the bay, this could bring winds of Category 4 intensity. So, yeah, there's a possibility that this, again, is a high-end 3, low-end Category 4. It wouldn't matter very much. Storm surge will be exceptional with this storm. It will be exceptional. Yes, easy peasy, yes. Pressure has dropped significantly with this, and we will be keeping an eye on those trends because there will be another pass with the Recon. So now looking at the halves A model, looking at this in much more better detail, you can see that the pressures here, of course, right around 9. So I would say, again, 924 millibars, assuming that this is actually correct. You can see that the system it could briefly re-intensify maybe into early Wednesday morning, but this is still, again, up in the air for right now. This is the 06Z run from the halves A. So this is a much weaker solution. I've noticed this going back and forth between a Cat 4 and a Cat 5 here by Wednesday morning. But it does show that the system is going to be weakening in general as it gets closer to Tampa Bay. This would be by, again, Wednesday late night into early Thursday morning here. And this would be like right around 2 in the morning on Thursday for the Tampa Bay area. Pressures here would be 950, 957 millibars at landfall. So this would be a very concerning scenario. Probably the worst case scenario from this would be from the halves A. Now, what about the halves B model showing us that? So, of course, when we look at the 06Z run, we can see that the pressures here... Oh, wait, no, that's a halves A. Same model. Let me go to the halves B. So the halves B model, again, does a pretty good phenomenal job. Now, it's not 941 millibars anymore. It really isn't. So the system is regrouping itself yet again. And so it being at 926 millibar to 941 as of the 8 o'clock in the morning hour, nearly 58 minutes ago, this is not a 941 millibar. So we are now assuming that it's stronger than what this model is showing. This would have it down to a Category 3 hurricane, in fact, and not a 4. So this is definitely an outlier, showing a very weak system. But it does show it re-intensifying briefly by Wednesday morning back up to a Category 5 hurricane with 917 millibar wind pressures here. So yes, the system can make another round, a last round of rapid or not really rapid re-strengthening because it's very strong to begin with, but it might re-strengthen up to a Cat 5 again through the next, I would say through the next 20 hours or so before this begins to really weaken. And how much weakening really takes place is to be determined right now. Because on the 0Z run of the halves B, it was much more stronger than what we're seeing right now in the same area. The timing has gotten to be later at the moment, and it looks like now this would not be moving onshore until at least 2 or 5 in the morning on Thursday for the Florida area. Okay, so that's what we're witnessing on the halves B at the moment with that. But of course, the rainfall with this will be very significant. And you can see it right here with the outer bands moving onshore. That's going to lead to a lot of the flood concerns here over Tampa Bay as this moves closer and closer onshore. You can see that the rain does subside over Tampa, but the winds do pick up. And then, of course, to the north of this, the rain is going to be very, very significant. That's where we're looking at the worst flooding potentially, and it depends on what model you look at. If we look at this model, it shows that the heaviest rainfall will be just north of Tampa. If we look at another model, it shows Again, the same thing, but this holds together a little bit more like a half moon shape eye wall here. It does appear. Even the southern eye wall might remain a little bit more intact, and that's why the pressures here are at 954 millibars, which isn't a surprise, and we will just have to wait and see on exactly how weak or how strong this is when it moves into the Tampa Bay area. All right. So if you guys are new, please share this. Man, we only have 800 people watching this live stream, probably because, of course, people are assuming this is weakening, so not a lot of people are going to tune in to the news, probably, or any YouTube channel out there. Which should be an understatement. You still need to tune into this. This is still a life-threatening situation that is unfolding. It really is. But it does look like it is trying to regroup itself. The eye has not warmed anymore at the moment, but that may change in a hurry. We'll see about that. It has warmed from where it was earlier, though. So we'll see if that warming does continue. Let's see some 3D. Wow, you guys really like the 3D on this. So they did penetrate the other side of the eye, and right now, flight level winds are right around 130 knots. So this is still a very intense hurricane at the moment. Very strong to say the least. And right now they are in their outbound leg. So let's take a look though at the 3D, since you guys are requesting that. And yeah, look at that. You can see what it looks like on 3D. Let me zoom back out. And you can see that right there. You can definitely see the eye on 3D. You're very welcome, some ways. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it very much. I just realized Rainfall, y'all, is live. He's already doing live coverage on this. Probably going to be live for a couple of days. Doesn't surprise me. But yeah, you can see here, if we may have to start live streaming on this continuously tonight. We'll see how this really pans out. But more than likely tomorrow morning, we will start the coverage. But yeah, really intense eye wall here. And the eye is warming up a little bit. It really is. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the graphics very much. You're very welcome, M. Santiago. You're very welcome. But yeah, this is definitely a Category 4 hurricane right now. Thank you so much, Matey Look. I do appreciate that. All right, I am being told people are evacuating, so that is good news. Very good news. In fact, let's go current evacuations in Florida. So current evacuation orders, I'm sure right now. Yeah, so these are current evacuation orders right now. So anything in red. So anything in red is a mandatory. So that means you have to get out right now. All right. And orange means an evacuation. Basically, it's an order. That means you should be ready to evacuate. I think that's what that means. But And I wish I can zoom in on this. Let me see if I can do that. See, these maps are too small and you can't zoom in at all. You just can't make this a lot bigger. But yeah, so right now, anything in red is an evacuation mandatory. That means you have to leave. You have to leave right now. Okay, you have to evacuate now. Do not stay behind. That includes for Tampa Bay, for Pinellas, under an evacuation mandatory right now. A mandatory evacuation. Pasco County, if you're in Citrus County, all the way up to Levy County, under a mandatory evacuation. All the way south towards Collier County in Florida, under a mandatory evacuation at the moment. When you go further south here towards Monroe, no evacuation has been made at the moment. So if you are in evacuation mandatory, and if you're in Valsia County in Florida, you're under a mandatory evacuation right now. So yes, take this seriously. Follow those evacuation orders right now in Florida. Right now in progress because of this hurricane. But yeah, this is a look at Hurricane Milton right now with 150 mile an hour winds at the moment. What's up, the Bunny House? How are you doing? Yeah, the whole county, by the way, Chris, yes. That's the whole map showing us which areas here are under evacuation orders, mandatory evacuations, and the yellow, I would say, is voluntary. So yes, the yellow area is a voluntary evacuation, and the orange areas are just information that you should be ready to evacuate very soon. So like DeSoto County, Lake County, Marion County, Putnam County, Nassau County up there is showing evacuation information. How far will it likely reach? Probably 15 miles inland. The storm surge will probably go 15 miles inland. Let's see. So yeah, the storm surge will probably go in at least 20 miles. In Tampa Bay, it's going to go well inland. Possibly even 40 miles in some areas. Valosa. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. The red areas are mandatory evacuations. They are mandatory evacuations. Yeah, 20 to 4. Actually, well, you know what? More specifically from the water's edge, I meant. It's more like probably... Oh, man, I'm sorry if I freaked you all out there. More like 5 to 10 miles, not... What was I even thinking? I was... 20 to 40 miles, no, it's not going to happen. So... Georgia is probably the safer area to get to right now, despite the damage in the wake of Hurricane Helene. But yeah, St. Petersburg, this whole area, Largo, in the Florida area, looking pretty bad. Very populated area, and it's, yeah. Yeah, 5 to 10 miles is quite a bit, yeah. Any chance this shifts further south? There is still a chance this does shift a little further south. Yes, most certainly. If you are in the Sarasota area, Sister Key area, Venice area could get in. You could get almost a direct landfall. It just depends exactly what wobbles do what to the system. And right now, it looks that the eye is still cloud filled, and the eye has not warmed up very much. It's probably not intensifying at the moment right now. But yes, it still does have pressures that are around 925 millibars, 925, which is really low, to say the least. And they're going to be making another turn. I think this is the recent pass. Okay, 927 millibars. So the pressure did drop a little bit. And this is the latest drop zone. Yep, this is the latest one, and they're still finding winds that are near, or actually, yeah, they're finding a solid area of Category 5 force winds. Winds at the exact surface are at 120 knots, so that's Category 4, but not far above the surface. You're already up near Category 5 intensity. But this is wobbling a little bit. Interestingly enough, it is actually moving slightly south of due north. It has not gained much latitude, only just a little bit though, but it's taking its own sweet time of doing anything as far as gaining latitude. But here's the current mission right now that is flying the system. Okay, the news is saying there's another eyewall replacement cycle. If the pressure did drop, so it's hard to say if that's actually occurring. I do not see any eyewall replacement cycle at all right now. I don't see any lightning either, so the system may not be strengthening very much at all. But that pressure did drop 3 millibars from the recent pass. It is hard to say if there is an eyewall replacement cycle because we don't know what's going on up here to the northwest of the system. We just don't know what's going on yet. Yeah, the eyewall replacement cycle occurred overnight. And that eye is definitely apparent on the infrared. So it is, we do have an eye-like future. An eyewall replacement cycle is when the outer eyewall develops and then strengthens and robs the inner eye. So the inner eye actually dissipates and weakens while the outer eye strengthens and contracts. And that's what we had last night. And usually this leads to weakening of the storm in a short term, but then the system can re-strengthen on the other side, which it did re-strengthen right now. It's up to 150 miles an hour. Still a high in Category 4 hurricane. What's up, JMJ Show Channel? David, the hurricane does look lopsided. Not really. I don't think it looks very much lopsided at the moment. Sabine, Florida. So let's go to Sabine, Florida. That crashed on me. Stupid Radar Omega. So Sabine, Florida. Take a look at that. So Sebring. Oh, there we go. So Sebring, Florida, is definitely going to get some impacts out of this, mainly wind impacts, but don't be surprised if you do get some enhanced flooding out of that area. But definitely now, if this shifts further south, then yes, Sebring as well as Avon Park, Lake Placid could be more in the line of fire. But right now, it looks like that Sarasota, Winter Haven, as well as, say, Four Corners, Lakeland, that whole area, gonna see the biggest impacts. Oh, we got live cameras now. Live cameras already in place. Gonna be interesting on how this ends up being, though. How this right here is where the worst storm surge is going to be. Oh, not that. So, and we also have a weather station over here too. So this is live weather data. So we'll be able to bring this to you in real time for tomorrow's stream too, which is great, which is awesome. Yeah, the live cameras are for tomorrow though. I'm just kind of showcasing those right here in Pinellas Park. One in Pinellas area and then one in Palm Harbor. So yes, we do have those cameras out, which is nice. Radar Omega is nice to provide these cameras across any given area. So we can really show you what storm surge looks like. David, Halves A has a Cat 4 at Landfall. Oh, are they rendering? Are they coming in? Nope, I don't see any new model in yet. But yes, am I not getting... I don't think the Halves A started rendering yet, so hard to say. But yeah, Category 4 near landfall. I would say more like a Category... Well, 113 knots is a Category 4. So actually, very, it's like knife edge close. The official landfall is not until the center does, which means it would probably be a Category 3. But here's the thing, if it's a Category 4 here and then it's a Category 3 here, doesn't matter. The impacts do not change. They do not change at all. All right, easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's squeeze you. You can be a grapefruit. No, I'm just kidding. We can squeeze you. Yeah, the messaging is what is important. So again, my message to you guys is do not stop the evacuations. Evacuate, as this is going to be a Cat 4 and a historic hurricane. Okay? Later on, after this is done, we might say that, oh, the media and everyone hyped this all up. Okay, we'll get to that point when it gets to that point. But until then, this is a forecast, and the forecasts are not looking good. They are not. Probably the worst I've seen it in my YouTube career, dating back to 2017. David, the storm will be delayed a day or two. Well, right now, that's what it looks like. But it still seems like Wednesday, more like early. Like 1 in the morning early, the system would be making landfall. And actually, this would be 12-hour increments. So you put, yeah, you would put, so 7, so So this would be about 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning at landfall is what the NHC is thinking. By the way, if you guys are liking the content, the live coverage of this hurricane right now, please don't forget to subscribe. I will be live all day tomorrow. I will be live all day tomorrow with live cameras, weather station data, radar data, recon data, and much more. And based on the current structure of the system, I'm probably going to end up going to work today. What do you guys think? And I want your guys' honest opinion, especially from Angela, because we talked last night, and I'm glad we were able to talk for a little bit. Because I don't know if I should, because not much is going to change over the next, or after noon. After the noon hour my time, I don't know. All right, yeah, I believe it's okay to go to work today. Yeah, so everyone is saying I should go to work today, so that's probably what is going to end up happening. Darn it! I wanted to miss work, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Means I'm probably going to have to take a little power nap myself. Someone said, love to take a power nap, you know. Probably going to have to do one of those today. Later tonight is important for sure. Yes, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go live late tonight again. It's going to be late. It is going to be late, though. I want to make it clear that it's going to be delayed by an hour, maybe an hour and a half later. And that's because, of course, I have work today. But because of the current structure of the hurricane right now, I'm interested to see what the next pass actually shows. If it still shows some strengthening with the pressure fall, then I may have to revise that. But right now, I will have to just wait and wait patiently for the last pass, or the second to last pass in the center, to see if this has strengthened a little bit more. I have until noon to let my work know today, so I have another 3 hours to let them know, because I don't go to work until like 4 o'clock today. So, oh, I'm keeping my job, local. What's up, PM? How are you doing? I didn't see you here the last couple of days. How are you doing? The pass into the center should be another 30 minutes from now. Yeah, I'm going to wait for the Hurricane Hunter. Yeah, I'm going to still be live here for a while. I just started live streaming about an hour ago, so I'm not ending this right now. What I'm just saying is, if it's strengthening, then maybe I revise, but I don't think... I'm going to really wait, though, until about noon or even 1 in the afternoon to make that decision, my time. Thank you, The Guardian, for the $100 donation. I do appreciate it. The first super chat of this live stream. So thank you for that. By the way, pressure is 927. It did drop 3 millibars, which again, 3 millibars may not seem like much, but if that trend continues, we are back into the low 900s by this afternoon. In fact, if it did drop 3 millibars, it did drop 3, so if it continues, 3 millibars times 12, 36 millibars. It would be below 900 millibars in 12 hours. So by tonight, it could theoretically be stronger than it was yesterday if the pressure does continue to fall at this rate. Safeway is calling. They need you. Yeah, they do. Yeah, any pressure drop is bad. Certainly means the system's not weakening. It is not weakening. It's either maintaining strength or at times it's trying to strengthen just a little bit more. Oh, I know, Diana. I know. Look at the GFS model, David. That's probably a bad sign if you're telling me to look at the GFS. Probably the first time that someone told me to look at the GFS model. The 06Z run, right? So it's 957 millibars. Yeah, it's 957 millibars, and it does make landfall by 2 in the morning. That is exactly what the NHC is saying. And this is the, this is a 12Z run. Okay, so the 12Z run is actually weaker. Thank you for the $10 donation. I do appreciate it. So I do thank you, Angelis, for the $10 donation from Sarasota, Florida. Keep up the great streams. Thank you. I will keep up the great streams. I will be live tonight, but again, if I miss, I stream early today. If I go, I stream later than yesterday. So prepare for one of the two scenarios. I will let you know in a community post on what my decision is. But either way, a second stream will be needed tonight because of, again, the situation that's unfolding still pretty significant. So, yes. Go and stream later. Yes, Kyle. I will be streaming tonight, but again, it may be late or maybe at 5 in the afternoon my time. So in other words, I may be streaming as early as probably about 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or as late as perhaps midnight Eastern Daylight Time. So it's just kind of one of the two scenarios. Someone said call out sick. I'm on edge right now. I'm still deciding. It really just depends on the situation of this. If this contracts and the eye is able to clear out again, which doesn't look like it's doing much of that, there is a little bit of shear right now. System's moving definitely slower, though. It seems to just not be moving as fast. Because our halves model... Yeah, look at how slow this is moving. Definitely at a crawl right now. Comparatively to our... Actually, yeah, it is definitely moving a lot slower. It is not moving as fast. So it's been moving slower and slower because the halves A and halves B do show it over here. This is the 06Z run. System's over here right now. So it is definitely about 40 nautical miles slower than these models when they initialized. So it is not moving very fast. Did it hit the loop current? Not yet. It did not hit the loop current. Which actually, you know what? That's probably why the halves B does show rapid intensification on right through that loop current. Not necessarily tray wear. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get slower. Because if it misses, I don't know how the pattern is going to evolve. Yeah, if it moves slower, then the shear might be a little stronger on the system. So actually, that would be a good thing in some degree. But there is outflow here. There's an outflow channel that does occur to the north. So that means it could theoretically not weaken very much before landfall because of dynamics at work, thermal dynamics, upper level dynamics as well. Let's see after that system. So once that gets done, yeah, looks like we may have to watch the Caribbean. We're probably going to need to really watch the Caribbean still. For additional development after that. We'll see what this model shows. But we may not be done yet. There is a system that does develop down here, and we'll see how that all evolves later on. Thank you, Camg, for the $5 donation. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Freedom21. Oh, did they go back in? Oh, no, they didn't yet. Okay. Yeah, they did find a pressure of 925 millibars. So the pressure has dropped. It has dropped from earlier. If we look at the previous fixes, it was studied 930, 930, 930, and now most recently 927. And anything in purple here is catastrophic winds. So in all their passes, they did find that the wind field may be getting a little bit more compact, which is a sign that the system's pressure could drop a little quicker and we could have trouble. We could have a little bit of trouble ahead. Slower moving storms have more chances of strengthening. Exactly. There is no northward movement. No, there is not. PM, you are correct. And PM is saying this may not be that bad. I would strongly disagree on you for that. It is looking to be exceptionally bad. Right now, we have to now cast. We literally are going to have to now cast this. Okay. In fact, let me see what their discussion actually shows here. Yeah, so sequence. So yeah, they are new microwave imagery here does show sequences of the microwave images in recent Hurricane Hunter observations suggest that Milton completed an eyewall replacement overnight, and the new eyewall has contracted down from 22 nautical miles to now 12 nautical miles in diameter. However, it does not appear that the hurricane weakened much after the eyewall replacement cycle, and it could have rebounded with the outer eyewall contraction. A drop zone released by the NOAA P3 in the northeastern eyewall recently measured an average wind of about 156 knots with the lowest 150 millibar of the sounding, which equates to an intensity of 130 knots. The latest pressure reported by the plane is 929, but we're down to 927, so the pressure is falling actively. The recent fixes show that Milton has turned a bit leftward and is moving toward the east-northeast, but again, it has wobbled back to the east again. Milton is forecasted to turn northeastward and begin accelerating later today as it moves between a trough digging into the Gulf of Mexico and a ridge near the Greater Antilles. The track guidance is honed in on a landfall along the west central coast of Florida sometime Wednesday night. However, it is critical to remember that even at 36 to 48 hours away, The NHC track forecast can be off by an average of 70 miles. That's pretty incredible, which means we still can't pinpoint an exact landfall location, especially if the hurricane wobbles as it approaches the coast. After landfall, Milton is forecasted to cross Florida and emerge over the Atlantic waters on Thursday. So, with that being said, Milton's wind field is expected to expand as it approaches Florida. In fact, the official forecast shows that the hurricane and tropical storm force winds roughly doubling in size by the time it makes landfall. Therefore, damaging winds, life-threatening storm surge, and heavy rainfall will extend well outside the forecast cone. It is also worth emphasizing that this is a very, very serious situation. Okay? Emphasizing that this is a very serious situation, and residents in Florida should closely follow orders from their local emergency management officials. Evacuations and other preparations should be completed today. Milton has the potential. Still. Okay, last wording here. Milton still has the potential to be one of the most destructive hurricanes on record for West Central Florida. So, again, this is the latest advisory saying that, this has the ability of being one of the most destructive hurricanes on record. Even so, this is a Category 3 at landfall. That's, again, from a Category 3 at landfall, which is really, really bad. This is exceptionally dangerous. We have not witnessed anything like this before. All right, and I don't like hyping things up, but I'm hyping this up, and you guys could call me out all you want. I don't care, because right now it's all about saving people's lives, and what we're seeing here is something that we have not dealt with in at least 100 years or even greater. All right, so yes, really, really take this seriously. Really, because who knows? I mean, infrastructure has grown, or the housing in the area has grown a lot, and so we just don't know how much destruction. We know for a fact there will be a lot of destruction, but to what extent remains to be seen. But right now on the satellite imagery, this is starting to develop a more circular eye. We're waiting for the eye to see if it can clear out, which it has not been able to do so. The eye has been kind of cloud-filled thus far. And it looks like, though, we are seeing still some very deep, vigorous convection on the northern side. So we will see if the pressure has dropped even more with this next pass. And I want to make sure people are safe. I don't want people underdoing this hurricane. I really don't. I really don't want anyone to underdo this. And all evacuation orders, there's a lot of them, again, on this map, and I've repeated this many times already. Anything in red is a mandatory evacuation. So know your zone by going to this website, actually, right here, flooddisaster.org. Right here, go to this website, and you can find that information. If you're in red, you are told to evacuate. The county is under evacuation, basically the whole county, that is. But yeah, it looks like it's trying to reinstate itself. And we will wait and see what this plane finds. David, what can make this shift a little to the east before the landfall? It would be little wobble. Your name is in Spanish. I'll just call you Dia. Even surfers are evacuating, guys. This is saying something. Get out if asked to leave. Wow. Thank you, Angela, for letting me know, or letting everyone know. Wow, surfers are evacuating. Man, even surfers that like to surf those big waves are not taking chances on this. That is pretty bad. And we're waiting for a new pass to get in there right now. It moved much further southeast. Yeah, they'll adjust it in their next complete advisory. Oh, okay, Terry. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, because it's actually, let me make sure. Yeah. Yeah, Pinellas County has issued a mandatory evacuation order for everyone in zone A, B, and C and all mobile homes. Okay. Sorry if I was a little incorrect on that. I wanted to restate that. Okay, so yeah, if you read the information, so issued a mandatory evacuation order for everyone in zone A, B, and C and all mobile homes. Earlier, the county announced evacuations for special needs residents and residential healthcare facilities in these zones. That's for Pinellas County. Manatee County. So mandatory evacuation here. Evacuations for all. Okay, so same thing. Persons in level A, B, and C, and all residents or visitors in RVs or mobile homes ahead of Hurricane Milton beginning at 2 p.m. So, that was yesterday. So evacuation orders began yesterday at 2 p.m. in Manatee County. In Sarasota County, let's see. As of 10:36 a.m. Of today, Sarasota County has extended its evacuation order to level C. Everyone in levels A, B, and C, plus manufactured communities or a mobile boat or boat home, so-called, needs to evacuate. All right, so it's all right here. Click the link that I sent you all in chat, because this will take you in. If you click on your county, it will tell you that, oh, know your evacuation area too. So know your zone by going to knowyourzone.org.no. And right here are the different color zones. I wish there was, yeah. Here's the zone map. So you can see here that if we go to Tampa Bay, what zone is, okay. So so in Tampa Bay, it's evacuation zone A. And then the metropolitan area, let's go to Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's zone E. That is so if an evacuation order gets issued there, please heed it again. Okay, that's zone E over Tampa Bay. So this is really important right here. Know your zone by going to knowyourzone.org. But yes, Florida right now is in pretty big trouble. And we're just going to wait and see with what this actually does. If this is actually able to re-strengthen and clear out its eye again. We're waiting for that next pass through the center, though. We're waiting for that next pass. Oh, new model came in. New halves model is in. It's rendering. Let's see. Or in this case, I should say big. Okay, that was hidden, so that's probably an understate. Yeah, we did not. Oh, the 12Z model is in. So it shows a 930 millibar system this afternoon. It is down by 3 millibars from the last run, but it is not as strong as the run from last night. So it is weaker in general. There's consistent trends here. It is weaker. But let's see what the halves B is showing. So yeah, this has until tonight to reorganize itself, and then it should weaken. And it looks like trends are showing a weaker system in the last few runs from the halves B. We'll see what this means by the time it makes landfall. So the two halves models are coming in right now. But in the short term, this could get stronger. Definitely a lot stronger, actually, maybe in the next 15 to 18 hours. But again, based on the current intensity is what's going to really be important. This has been surprising us a lot now, so it's very hard to say. But definitely a defined eye on the infrared satellite channel. Definitely there. But we'll see with what they find when they get in that northwestern eyewall. If the pressures have dropped. There is lightning going on in it, though. There's definitely lightning. Yeah, we do got some lightning strikes. So we'll see if this leads to a bout of something more bigger. Pasco County. So Pasco County right now, government there is issuing a mandatory evacuation for zones C in Pasco County as Hurricane Milton approaches Florida. Life-threatening storm surge and hurricane force winds are expected to impact Pasco County later this week. So if you live in evacuation zone A, B, or C, you live in a manufactured home, mobile home, or RV home in Pasco, you live in a low-lying area or areas prone to flooding. So, yeah. So you are told to evacuate if you're in those zones, it sounds like, yes. So please take this seriously, Pasco County. Wait for more frames to come in on the halves model. We're not there yet, so we gotta wait. We're going to get a new plane in the center here really, really soon. Quite soon, actually. And so, yeah, in the next 6 minutes or so, we'll get an update and we will see with what they have found. Okay, they should get the eyewall. It'll probably be a little longer than that before they get we find out what the central pressure is, but let's see what the eyewall is like on that one side. But there is definitely some lightning. You can see these little dots. See these few dots? It's hard to also make them out. There's some yellow dots as well. I don't know what the bigger dots mean, but you can see there is some lightning happening in that system. And it's a matter of time if the eye does clear. Look at the HMON, David. It's stronger. Man, I'm either behind or you're ahead of me, folks. I will believe this when the next plane gets in there. If it's like 920 millibars, 921, as close as you can get with the HMON, then I will probably believe it a little bit more. But right now, I'm going to just wait. And this would show a Category 5 hurricane by this evening, this afternoon. It is a lot stronger, though. It is important to take note. It is stronger than the last couple of runs. But again, we have to now cast this. Hard to predict. Eyewall replacement cycles could lead to reductions in intensity. We don't know the full story. Again, we just have to go as we go. This is showing that the system gains latitude, and it's not doing that clearly. So the system is going this way. It's moving this way right now. So how long will that motion last? If it goes down here and then turns north, this could get a little closer to perhaps Cuba, and then it could move much further south. So right now, I'm just going to be patient. Yeah, Norwegian, yes. Norwegian Storm Chaser, yes. It is on its way down, and we're waiting. We will see if that drop continues. Right now, the lowest pressure found was about 924-ish. 920. Yeah, it was 925.6 925.0 on the extrapolated. So we'll see if that has dropped another 3 millibars. If it's 925, if it's 922 millibars or lower, that's more than 3 millibars lower. David, question from stream. How long will you be reporting on this live stream? Probably until about 11. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a power nap in before work. Unless otherwise that the storm is strengthening. The eye looks like it's trying to clear, though. It really is trying to show signs of that. It does have that stadium effect. So I'm wondering if it's intensifying, but the cirrus clouds are not clearing. I'm wondering if that's the... Actually, you know what? The eye has warmed overall. In fact, in recent frames, you could actually see more of a clear dimple. So it might be in the early stages. It might just be in the early stages. Thank you, Truly Lynn. 11, maybe until 11. My time, I will have to see. But yeah, there are some signs now. We are starting to see the surface. So this might be clearing. This might be clearing a little more quicker. Right in time when that plane gets in there. And we will see if the system has intensified. We're waiting for that eyewall passage. And boy, if they got this deep convection mass, that could allow a huge intensity increase. The thing is wrapping around really quickly, though. You can see it spinning about. Thing is really orbiting extremely quickly right now. David says, not me, David, but David in the chat says it's definitely intensifying. I think it might be. I need to wait for the official data to come in to confirm that. For not one pass, but 2 passes. I need to see what they get on the southeastern side. What's up, Lunchbox? How are you doing? Thank you for subscribing, Truly Lynn. You are very awesome. I do appreciate it. What's up, Jesse Bloodstow? How are you doing? Okay, we should get an update here in about... So we should get a new update here in about a minute or two on the Recon. We're waiting patiently for that pass, that leg pass. And keep in mind, this is the eyewall. I want to make it clear, and they got the center. They got the center. What did they get? What did they get? What did they get? 120 knot winds, and did the pressure drop? Nope, pressure did not drop anymore. So it had stopped falling. So it's 925 millibars still. So the system is not intensifying at the moment. Now, again, we'll see what the drop zone data gets. If it's down by another millibar, like 925 millibars, 926 millibars, technically it is still intensifying. We will see with what they get on that other side, though. But it does appear that the eye... So far, it does appear that the eyewall estimated size would be about 12 nautical miles. So that seems to kind of clarify right here. It's about 11 or 12 nautical miles in diameter. So it is gotten smaller a little bit. So the extrapolated pressure is 925.0 millibars. Right there. You can see it on the thing. So the system has not intensified since the last pass. And the center has moved more kind of at 100 degrees to the east at 100 degrees at least. Or east-southeast-ish. But we'll see if this does change, though. The warming of the... Oh, the eye is really starting to warm now. The eye is really warming up now. You can see the last few frames. You can start seeing some greens. Look at this, folks. Look at this. The eye is starting to warm. A little bit. You can start seeing some tinges of green in there. Compared to earlier, there was a lot more red and black colors in the eye. But now look at how it's starting to warm up a little bit more. However, it's still cloud-filled, so we are not seeing much of... Well, there's cirrus clouds in there too, so it might be kind of hard to tell. But it does look like it might... Looks like it might try to do this again. And the system may have wobbled a little bit to the east again, to the left again. So the eye is warmed up a hair, just a little bit. And in fact, more significantly here, actually there's a lot more lightning going on in the eye itself. Yeah, there is definitely some lightning going on. Let's see if there has been an increase on the GLM based, though. So let's go to Weather Nerds. Because we really need to watch this now. If it's intensifying, if that eye is warming up, we should start seeing more lightning activity in the system. But that southeastern side is going to be really important. So let me zoom in. And let me see this right here. Yeah, we're up to 24 lightning strikes. We are up to 24 lightning strikes. Probably even a little more than that now, because this is 1 minute increment updates. And once we get the other side with all that lightning, this could lead to a bit of a win max. So we're going to just have to see if this takes full advantage again, if it makes another secondary peak again. It looks like it's going to, though. Looks more symmetrical again. The cloud appearance here looks a lot more consolidated. Maybe a little asymmetrical on the northwestern side, but you can definitely get the vigorous cloud cover. I mean, look at all of this. Vigorous. This is not smooth. Oh, yeah, Angelina. Yeah, I remember the movie. The movie. You told me in the Discord. Again, Angelina. Not An. Why do I always call you Angelina? Man, I guess that's your name at this point. Angela. Not necessarily. We need to be careful here. It doesn't mean it could or may not, because again, if there is another eyewall replacement cycle in the next 6 to 12 hours, that could make all the difference. Oh, thank you, Angela. Come on, load. Get done already. But yeah, we have to, I mean, like, people don't like nowcasting, but that's where we're at this point. We have to nowcast. We have to assume and see that, oh, it's maybe dropping, the system maybe strengthening. Yep, we have 1,000 people watching. Congratulations to me again. What happened to the satellite? What the heck is going on? This is not the latest. Hold on. Oh yeah, look at that eye, folks. Oh yeah, that's very circular. That is definitely warming. That is no doubt. No arguing about it. It's definitely warming. It almost looks like what it did yesterday, but only there's more cloud in the eye than it was before. Yesterday, there was no cloud cover down to the middle of the eye. Oh, we got drops on data, someone said. We got drops on data, and it's down to 925, so it has dropped. No, wait. Did we? Latest drops on. Let's see. No, we didn't. We did not get a new drops on yet. If it's down to 925, that's down from 927 earlier. So that means the pressure had dropped. Yeah, so that's 920. Probably actually, you know what though? It's probably 924.9 because the wind barbs, there's some movement in there, so probably locally a tad lower than 925.0. Given that the eye is warming, definitely becoming more apparent on the visible satellite imagery. So this definitely has not weakened. If people are saying this is weakened a little bit, no, it has not. It has not. Be surprised if it did. Be surprised. I think study strengthening. I think steady strengthening now. Yeah, it's not going to rapidly strengthen. It's not going to do that. It's not going to do that. But what it is going to do is it could be on that cusp. We're waiting for the next pass, but there is definitely lots of lightning. And this is real-time satellite data at your fingertips. This is real-time data. Yeah, most recently, we are definitely getting some clearing spots within this. You can definitely get that idea. Even over here, we're definitely getting some clearing happening. And again, a clearing eye means that the system is strengthening, because what you're doing is the air is beginning to sink in the eye more. What happens when air sinks? It warms, and what does it do? It dries. When air warms and dries, clouds evaporate. So why is that important when the air sinks? Because that means the eye wall is strengthening, because you're actually in the inner part of the eye wall, you're actually getting air sinking right in the inner part of that. So like when you approach the, once you've flown through the eye wall and you're just inside that cumulonimbus part, and you're like right on the outer edge, that's where you're actually getting the downdrafts. The air is sinking. But look at all the lightning in this. Look, you can definitely see all the lightning taking place. Lightning has increased with this. Not on here, though, interestingly enough. Not really showing up here on the windy.com. Oh, no, there was there was a lot more lightning. So there is definitely a lot going on. So let me see if let's look at the loop. See if this has strengthened a little bit more. Again, we got to really monitor the trends here. Oh, yeah, we're up to 41 lightning strikes. 41 lightning strikes within that. So, yes, lightning has definitely picked up in the last 10 minutes. Water vapor. Simply micro infrared does show kind of the same thing. I like using infrared too, because the cloud top's warm in the eye. That means the eye is warming up. Water vapor is kind of the substitute of that. I'm not a very much fan of water vapor. But I will use it anyways. So yes, water vapor you can see right there in the last few frames. Right there, watch. You can see it warming and drying up. Really showing up there. Two hours ago, had hardly any strikes, David. Oh, I know. Lightning has definitely picked up on this. So you can see the lightning has increased. And the eye has warmed and dried up a little bit. So, and this looks more symmetrical, looks more of that appearance of like what it looked like yesterday. Look at the buzzsaw. Look at the buzzsaw look to the clouds too. Look at this. Buzzsaw look. You can really get an idea. And this is holding together quite well. Really holding together. Oh, yeah, that eye is really warming. You can definitely tell right now. Definitely apparent. Really becoming clear now. Oh, this is definitely... We will see with what they get on that other side. Oh my, yeah, they found Category 5. They found Category 5 winds. Yes, definitely. Definitely stronger than the last. Look at the last mission. Look at the last mission. Winds were only 123 knots on the southeastern side. On the mission before that, only 134 knots. Not even as strong as this latest leg right here. 141, 143 knots. So, I don't know. This might have strengthened because of that southern eye wall really being very strong right now. Milton may have strengthened, may have gotten to be 155 mile an hour winds. Not a category 5 yet. I don't believe it's going to be a 5 in the next advisory. But, oh, yes. Look at that solitary right there. Very solid. Very solid colors right in here. You know what, too? You know what is going on? The wind is actually moving inward here. There's a lot of centripetal force inward motion, so this might have strengthened a little bit. And so based on the wind barb flight data, that's 50, that's 100, 110, 20, so that's 100 knots. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, about 145, no wait. Yeah, 145 knot winds in that eye. We'll get some drops on data to see what the whole structure looks like on that side. But that is much stronger. That is way stronger than it did. I mean, look at the difference. Look at the whole difference. This huge speed max. So this did strengthen. Technically, that southeastern eye wall, or that southern and southeastern eye wall really did increase again, which makes sense because our eye has warmed. Show the spaghetti plots. Right now, the spaghetti plots are tightly clustered over Tampa. There's not much to say about that right now at the moment. The spaghetti plot is pretty much right over the Tampa area. Yeah. Let's give a round of applause to PM on that. Models are useless at this point until we get a correction, because now the pressure, someone said it did drop a couple more millibars. So if the pressure is dropping, now again, we're back in this situation of how long will the pressure drop for? Okay, we have to understand that. Exactly, PM, yes. We don't know where it's going to hit yet. We have to now cast. At this point, because it's going further southeast more than it should be. I mean, and it's also not moving as fast. See, it's even showing up here. It's moving a little bit to just slightly south of due east. But this is definitely strengthening. This eye is definitely warming. Yeah, now casting is in order. Do you know how big the eye is? So based on Recon, so if we look at our right about here, so let's see. Let's see how big the eye is estimating. So the eye right now is about 7 miles in diameter, roughly about 7 miles in diameter. So it does continue to contract. It continues to get smaller. This is the latest right now. I'm estimating about 7 miles right now. In fact, let's see if we get any VORT messages. If those came in. No, not yet. We do not have the new data, but I'm estimating about 7 miles. It's 7 miles in diameter based on the wind maximum at this point. Based on the warming of the eye, based on this wind maximum, I'm guessing it's down to about 924 millibars. The pressure has dropped to 924 millibars. Is that a bad thing? It could mean a couple of things. One, maybe another eye wall is forming in the outer end. And secondly, the system could be getting more compact. As we see here, you can see the wind is getting pulled inward right about here. So you see a lot more inward momentum being done at work here, which makes sense of the pressure fall that we're seeing. I want to see what people on Twitter are saying actually on this. By the way, if you guys are new to the stream, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It has undergone an eyewall replacement cycle earlier. So that's already finished. That is already finished. Oh, yep. Someone said on Twitter, right there, here we go again. Here we go again. 2 minutes ago, someone actually posted that. Ohio weather X7. He says on X. Peak. And Tristan now even says this could be a Category 5 hurricane. So I'm just waiting for new updates. Oh, guess what? This is from Reed Timmer. Then now, when Reed Timmer sees something that I'm seeing, that's a concern. And I know Reed Timmer all too well. He was actually, I'm sure he's following me here on YouTube. One of the famous people out there. So Reed Timmer is even saying that the system is rebounding. And I could show you evidence of that. Look what he actually says right here. And I'm going to blow this up to show you all. Notice how the new eye is warming and becoming more circular. With Hurricane Milton following an eye wall replacement, you can see a small eye wobbling around inside initially. But look at how it changes. Look at that eye right there. And becoming more circular in recent frames. That's really important. Right there is where we are seeing that circular appearance. That is a problem. So if Reed Timmer is saying something about this, which actually I'm going to repost this, that should tell you all that this is rebounding. It's regrouping itself. And here's another image. This is from Chris, Florida tornado, calm before the storm. And boy, those are some nasty clouds out there in the distance. So yes, this is recovering. We will see how, if the warming of the eye does continue, if this will continue or not. We're down to the minute on this. Every minute counts on this system, and every new satellite imagery presentation we get is very important. It really is. And so that's what we're doing. Frank H, come on, you should already know that. It is a big storm. Does this have the potential of being a Cat 5 again? Absolutely. Based on our now casting, the eye has warmed. Let's see how warm and clear it gets. If it warmed like it did yesterday completely, then we have another Cat 5 on our hands. Exactly, David, in the chat. Anything a Category 3, which is major, I want to emphasize that. Okay. Anything a Category 3 or greater is devastating. And actually, when it hits a very populated area, it is historic. And it's not good. The wind field, though, does expand a little bit on this. At least on the southern side. You can see hurricane winds there, those purple numbers indicating hurricane force winds at flight level. But man, this wind maximum right here is trouble. It is so much trouble. I'm still thinking about it right now. I have another hour and a half to decide if I'm going to take the time off of work. I hope they do one more pass. I really do hope so. If they do, that will help out a lot. That will help because we need that data. Because we're not getting another mission in there for another 2 or 3 hours. Which I don't know why they're doing hourly fixes on this. I do not know why. But yeah, definitely an intense hurricane. Nonetheless, definitely an intense hurricane in the making. Or still in the making. Oh, yes. This eye is really warming now. Oh, this is warming. Yeah. Yes, we are down back into the -5. -5 as cold as -5 Celsius or Fahrenheit cloud tops. So this eye has warmed up again. You know, compared to earlier where it was only -80 degrees. Now look at it now. It is really warmed up. Even this has warmed up over here. This little what we call junk or filaments of cirrus clouds are dissipating. It's that dissipation we're seeing, which is important. So, yeah, this is strengthening. It really looks more symmetrical when you think about it. Right about in here looks quite symmetrical, other than the southern side, which probably is a blop of deep convection from earlier. But this is, you can just get the looks. It reminds me of what it looked like yesterday before it did its little angry little thing. You know what, too? Let me see. Go to College Due page. I want to compare this from yesterday's imagery. Because I need to see this. Yeah, look at on the visible or on the infrared. Very clear. Compared from earlier, from earlier there was no eye at all. And look how that eye really did clear out pretty quickly. What I want to see is I want to compare images from yesterday to see if it looks like it's doing the same cycle again. Pretty close match. It is pretty close match from yesterday, how it looked. We are at about 1730. From this eye yesterday was a little warmer, but the cloud tops now are a little cooler despite the eye being almost as warm. And yes, it looks like it did contract a little bit. It really did contract. And we're starting to see signs of that hurricane. Of that look again. That look of what appears to be a re-clearing eye. Yeah, our cloud tops have really warmed in that eye. Let's see if there's any more lightning in it. Let's see if we have any more data. Yeah, look at 70 lightning strikes. We're up to 70 lightning strikes in the last 10 minutes. Last 10 minutes, folks, we're up to 70. More specifically, 68 lightning strikes, but plus or minus 1 or 2. 70 lightning strikes. Huge increase in lightning activity on this. And you can see if we go back many frames, look at what the most recently. I mean, look at how many there were only in there. 7 lightning strikes on the GLM flash count. Watch this. Goes from 7, 13, 24, 41, 61, 70. So it's going up. Still increasing with lightning. What's the eye temperature right now on Neo Music? It's around -5 degrees Fahrenheit, which seems cold. Okay, that seems cold, but in relative to the cloud top, that's pretty warm. We're going to really need to see the lightning trends here. Does this continue going up? Because it has increased, notably. See what this is showing. It's not showing much in the way of lightning. This could be the easy peasy storm. No, I'm just kidding. But it is pretty cold. These cloud tops are pretty warm in relative sense. Which, by the way, the cloud tops around this system are -120 Fahrenheit. Oh my goodness, yes. This really is clearing right now. Definitely clearing. We have some blue patches, some clear patches in the eye right now. Some clear patches starting to show up over here gradually. So this is clearing. Oh, this is not good. We need another pass. We need one more. Just one more. Did we get a new... We did not get a new drop zone in there yet. Did not get the data. Okay, looks like they're going to do one more pass. Please do one more pass. We need the data. We need it. We need it. Some ways, I'm seeing this intensifying right now. This is pretty vigorous convection. It is definitely contracted a little bit. In fact, if we look at the last 100 frames, on the satellite, you could really see. Yeah, look at that. You could totally see that. So that eye is really has warmed. It has cleared and warmed. Storm information path, please. All right, yeah. So we'll look at the National Hurricane Center again just for an update. We will get a new update. I bet you they're going to go 155. I think they're going to go 155 on this. I bet you some bucks they're going to go 155 on this. Because the fact that the eye is warming, they're going to assume that the eye is warming, and the believable winds that they found on that latest leg means it is very possible that they go up to 155 in the next update. I would not be surprised if they jumped it to 160, but if they do, then I would be like, oh, this cannot be correct, you know. But we'll see with what they put. But yeah, this is the latest. NHC has a hurricane warning out for Central Florida. That's what it's looking like right there. Hurricane warning out for Tampa Bay. You're looking at it on the map. You're very welcome, Julie. So if you're in the red, it's called a hurricane warning, meaning hurricane conditions are expected within a couple of days of a period. We'll see if the track does change, though, in their next update. I think it's a Cat 5 now. I'm not going to say it's probably on the cusp of a Cat 5. It's probably at least 155 miles an hour. You're very welcome, Nancy. But regardless of intensity, this is a very serious situation. I mean, if it's a low in Cat 3 or a high in Cat 3 or a low in Cat 4, remember, you got to think about this for a little bit. Think about a low in Cat 4, the numbering system. A Cat 4 is a lot higher than a Category 1 hurricane. Am I correct? Am I correct on that? Okay. So when you think about it, wow, a Cat 4, that is definitely strong. That's definitely, it's in the books of Ian. Oh, wait, no. Ian did not make landfall as a Category 5. It made landfall as a 155 mile an hour hurricane, right? You don't need a Cat 5 to bring the worst conditions. All you need is a Cat 3, a Cat 2, or any kind of hurricane to bring impacts. Impacts, everybody. Impacts is emphasizing this in the stream. Are as important than anything else. Wind is the category. Wind is one impact. Storm surge and flooding is another impact. Surf is another impact too. Now, I cannot say if it will be a Category 4 at landfall. Again, we have to now cast this. Again, I cannot say this enough. We have to now cast this. Because right now, we all thought it was going to be a Cat 5 early this morning in the first place, remember? But the eyewall replacement cycle happened, hard to predict, and here we are. Technically not a Cat 5 right now. So this is unpredictable. Intensity and at times rapid intensity fluctuations can commence. Remember yesterday, the system went from an 897 millibar, that's a sub 900 millibar system, all the way up to a 920 millibar system in the 5 passes. So you have to kind of consider that oh, This could rapidly deepen and it could rapidly de-deepen. Okay. Yes, look at the eye now. Look at this. Definitely clearing. Wow. Very clear now. In relative to the cloud cover. Let's see if that... Oh, yes. This is now 0 degrees. Yep, 0 degrees, folks. 0 degrees on the eye. So that means it continues to warm at a very rapid rate. Let me see if we got another update on GLM. Lightning numbers have come down a little bit, but that's just temporary. We're still getting over 50 lightning strikes per 10 minutes. So if you get, that's almost a, yeah, that would be, if you get like say 60 lightning strikes per 10 minutes times 12, wait. That's about 300 or 400 lightning strikes, even 500 lightning strikes per hour. That's a lot. And this is overall, the trends are going up on this. As far as our lightning numbers go, we're waiting for the drop zone data to come in. And we have not gotten that in yet. Please turn around. Please go in. Please go in. Please go in. We need you. We need you so bad. There it is. Look how clear that's getting. And look at how symmetrical this is. Look at the CDO right here. Definitely very symmetrical. Really looks almost like yesterday. It really does. I don't want to say that, but it really has that look again. It really does. This central dense overcast with that eye-like future. And it is still headed kind of almost due east. It's headed almost due east. Let me see how warm the eye is getting. Wow. Right now, based on everything, the eye is about 0 degrees Celsius. That's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 32 degrees Fahrenheit already. And look at the deep convection. Negative 85 Celsius cloud tops. Look at that. That is remarkable. Remarkable right now. In fact, I'm going to save this image. I'm going to save this image. And I'm going to make a post on Twitter really quick. You guys get to see me double update. Oh, look at their aircraft recon mission from earlier. Look at that.
147. Pretty good. 151. Pretty good.
Wow.
I'm gonna grab my phone real quick.
Look at this.
Well.
Look how violent.
Damn.
This is from the airplane.
I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. Yeah. Well. Damn.
Unbelievable.
Hit the sun. Holy crap. Get these pockets zipped.
That's scary, dude. That is absolutely scary, man. Oh, I can't believe that. I just cannot believe that they literally... That shows you how violent this thing is. I'm trying to find where the image is. Darn it, I cannot post it. I'll do it later. But that is showing you guys. What's the locker for? I did not even pay attention to that. Probably to store their stuff. And that's showing you guys how violent this is. And yes, there is sky blue conditions now. Sky blue conditions on here. Take note of that. Sky blue conditions. Right over here. This undoubtedly, if I can even, without tongue twisting my tongue, that definitely has strengthened. This is probably close. This is very close to Cat 5 intensity. I mean, it's right there probably even. And actually, you know what? What I'm going to do, is I'm going to go here. I'm going to post this via my iPhone. I hope those people on that aircraft are fine. You know, I'm scared of flying. I'm so petrified of flying. I don't know who is scared of flying, but oh my gosh. Oh, I would not step 1 foot on that plane unless it was up for display. like a museum or something. Yeah, PM, by the way, is pretty generous, and the fact that he is saying this is a Category 5 is pretty concerning. It's 155, someone that's saying. Oh, the new update came in. Guess who called it? Guess who called it? Guess who said this would be 155 in the next update? I mean, what's up, Alex Miller? Since you're water, Alex, so Alex Miller, by the way, is the water boy. He is the Gulf of Mexico. And he is feeding heat into this hurricane right now. I did it. I called it. And I bet you, not only did they find those winds, but I bet you, I want to bet you a lot that it's because the cloud cover, this has cleared rapidly. So that clearing, and with this wind right over here on the southeastern side, told them that, you know what, based on the satellite trends, based on the Recon data, we're going to nudge this up a little bit. So this could become a Cat 5 again. This could become a Cat 5. I mean, it is sky high close. And because of this, I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to work. I don't think so. At this point, I'm going to keep an eye on it for the next hour and a half. Thank you so much, the Ectric Therapist. I do appreciate it. Yeah, look at the satellite images right here. This truly shows that this has really warmed and cleared, and very symmetrical cloud appearance. I mean, how symmetrical can you get with that? How symmetrical can you get with this cloud appearance? Not much. And look at the difference from just earlier. Actually, you know what? Let me go back a little bit more on the College of Dew page, because we can go back a little bit more on this. Look at the difference this thing made from that eyewall replacement cycle. So let me get the newer frames. There's your eyewall replacement cycle overnight. Remember how big it looked? It looked kind of fat and bulky. But guess what happened? Look at how tiny this thing got. Look at how it contracted. The whole symmetry to this, it has compacted itself again. Well, the difference about this, Jamie, is if I don't go to work, I would go live at like 5 o'clock or so. The whole reason why I would miss work is not because to stay live all day. It's just because that way I could update you guys earlier, because I feel like that's too late for you guys to be up at like 9 o'clock waiting for a stream. So that's why I'm thinking about just staying, so I could get an update out earlier rather than later. But yeah, you can see very symmetrical cloud appearance. Very symmetrical. And I would not be surprised if our satellite intensity estimates have rebounded also. Let's take a look at that. Yep, they have rebounded. This is Cat 5 intensity, even on the satellite intensity estimate, based on right now. This is a Cat 5, 143 knots. Very possible. It is possible. I mean, you can see right here, the University of Wisconsin, the advanced Dover technique, the raw and adjusted numbers is what I'm looking at. And that's just below 7.1, but in relative sense, based on the improvement, this could be a 140 knot system at least. Yep, the eye is already 11 degrees Fahrenheit. 11 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Really, really warm. Really warm. I don't think it's 914 millibars, but it doesn't surprise me given the fact that the eye has cleared this quickly. I would say it's at least 920 millibars or 919 millibars. Man, could this get down into sub 900s again? We will have to see. And actually, we have a new plane getting... They're done! What? They're done! They're not going in again. They're not going in there again. Oh, why are you not going in there? Oh, whatever. I'm just saying. I know they need a refuel. I know they do, but a fifth pass would have not hurt. John Taylor Tucker. I don't have merchandise yet. I am looking into doing that. I think I'm gonna do it once I get a little bit bigger. Once I get to like I've made a redecision that NOAA 9 did. I bet you it's an upper level drop zone mission. I don't even want to bother looking because I bet you it is. I bet you it's an upper level drop zone mission. Yup. I knew it. I knew it. It was an upper level drop zone mission. I can tell you that right now. Upper level. It's another one of those missions that we do care about it because it feeds data into the models from humidity perspectives, wind shear perspectives. But an upper level drop zone mission is not what we want. We want the low level missions in there, like this one. We want this again so we can get the intensity. Derek even says they're climbing pretty quickly. So that's an upper level drop zone. Which again are important. I don't want to be like it's not important at all. That's why they're doing it, because it's important. But I mean, we need intensity. We don't need atmospheric, environmental, surrounding data. We know where this is going to go. But I'm sure the models will recorrect. I guess my thing resetted, so let me zoom back in again. Holy moly. That lightning, man, that lightning really jacked up. "72 lightning strikes on this storm right now. 72 lightning strikes. There's no Cat 5 at landfall. No. There's no Cat 5 at landfall. But yeah, that's looking very symmetrical right now. Looking very symmetrical. That eye, yeah, look how clear that eye is again. Really clear eye now. Sky blue in some portions of the storm. Okay, that's understandable, PM. So maybe the upper level drop zone mission that is being conducted should hopefully correct. The model should correct. That's probably why they're doing it, because this has not changed in terms of location, or what this has moved southward. But hey, you know what? You know what the good thing about this is? At least there's a recon mission in progress. Just not the one that we want right now. Well, given 3 hours, they'll be back in there. Let me see how long it will be before their next mission. Let me see on Cyclonic. I'm waiting for that last drop zone. Maybe they didn't do another drop in there, but I can tell you it's 923 millibars. All right, so another Air Force mission should depart in 50 minutes. So in 50 minutes, it should depart. Yep, I know, but upper level drop zone, folks. Upper level drop zone mission. Okay, looks like this the system may be wobbling a little bit to just north of due east. Just north of due east. Waiting for the latest advisory to come out on the National Hurricane Center to see what they put out. If the storm surge has changed. On the graphics at least. But they do got the public advisory out. and it's at 155 miles per hour. That's a high end, the very highest end Cat 4 hurricane you can get. That's the highest end you can get with a hurricane. Not the highest end you can get, but the highest end 4. And look at that on the... Oh man, this thing is insane. Looks like a toilet bowl, or it looks like a whirlpool. By the way, I know this is a dumb question, but who wants to go rowing a boat and get close to that whirlpool? Oh my gosh, me, I'll try to catch channel catfish from it. Oh my gosh. See, if this thing did not impact any land, we could just sit here and watch it do its thing over the ocean. Except it would kill marine life. Me? Everyone says me. Oh my gosh. By the way, what's up, Don Mario? But yeah, look at the CDO on this. Central dense overcast with that embedded eye. It is just insane. And you can see in recent frames, if you watch the spike here, watch the spike come into view. Wait for it, watch this. Look at how it drops down. The lower it gets, the warmer the cloud tops or the eye is. So it really has warmed. Look at that. Hey, buddy. Hey, Milton. Spinning up a storm. Definitely that whirlpool look. You can see these cirrus clouds doing this. No, in a rowboat. Yeah, exactly. This thing is just insane. Wow. 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 Look at black dots. Black dots on satellite now. You can definitely see the black dots. You know what the black dots are, folks? I want you guys to all guess what the black dots in the eye mean. I'm sure you all are going to guess it correctly. The black dots mean, unfortunately, that's blue skies. And why is that important? Because the air is sinking so fast in the eye that the skies are clearing inside the eye. Not just cloud cover. In fact, physically, there is no cirrus clouds obscuring this eye at all now. And it's blue in here. There's blue. We're waiting for this to mix out a little bit more. That is blue skies. Blue skies again. No clouds in it. Let me see if there's mesovortices in it. That's what we're going to need to look at now. Because now that we have a better view angle at this, we were not able to see that yesterday because the eye was too small. It was too small. Looks like mesovortices in it. Might be mesovortices. Wish this thing was a little bit more high resolution with no pixels. Yeah, there looks to be mesovortices in it, which means it's strengthening. Wobbling north while moving east. Oh my gosh, you love when I say vortices? Oh my goodness. Not yet. I'm not gonna make the call in front of you guys. I'm not gonna call the store in front of you guys. Cause it, just for many reasons. Why is the sky blue in the eye? Well, because the eye is so warm. Remember, our convection is pretty cold. The moisture around the hurricane is actually relatively cold than the eye itself. And the air is actually drier usually in the eye, and the air is sinking. Air is sinking and it warms and dries in that process. And as it does so, guess what? You get clearing skies. And sometimes when you get blue skies, that's a sign of a very intense hurricane. I mean, blue skies. Blue skies. Yeah, even the Walcher even said the eye is clearing. Definitely, I could definitely see this from far away now. I could see the eye versus this morning. In fact, when we went live this morning, this was very cloud-filled. And now it really cleared out. I would not be surprised if this does become a Cat 5. Yep. Eye temperature now, folks, based on some pixels here, eye temperature now is about 20 degrees Celsius. 20 Celsius, which is in the low 70s about. Johnny, yes, but may not be. The next advisory is in 3 hours. In 3 hours. 20 degrees Celsius based on the mesofloater estimates. Yeah, look at this. Look how warm this is, though. This is not high resolution, by the way. This is kind of an average, but look at the temperature in the eye. 30 above freezing. It is above freezing in the eye right now. And there is lightning going on. Twitter NOAA, a footage inside the system. Let's see. Yep, look at this. Let me see. NOAA, let me see if I can find it. NOAA. Yeah, this was from earlier. Yes, so I'm aware of that. This is from earlier. I reposted that on my Twitter. Shoot, I just closed Twitter. I guess I can. At Storm Chaser John. Oh, you're a Storm Chaser now. Congratulations. I don't know. This is you. Are you John Hudson? Are you this right here? I don't know if this is you or not. Man, lightning is definitely a thing in this eye, though. Let me get an update on the satellite imagery, a GLM update here to see if the lightning has gone up. Okay, get loop. Come on. Wow, we went up to 88 lightning strikes just a bit ago, and we're now down to about 54 lightning strikes. So it's pulsating up to now 88 strikes in 10 minutes. Oh, Storm Master. Storm. Okay, see, you got it. You gave me the wrong name. There's no results for Storm Master John. So I can't find you. Follow me. How about this, John? You follow me, and then I'll get that notification. But anyways, let's go back and look at the imagery. And yeah, that is pretty intense. Old, no, thank you, Old and Gray, for following me. Get ready for a Twitter notification, people. Twitter notification coming out. This is what I do. I'm doing Twitter and I'm doing YouTube at the same time. But yeah, that whirlpool effect. That's a bad sign. Look, you can even see some reflections of the cloud cover here, which you can see the leading edge of the eye wall, which is right about here, is the leading edge of that eye wall. So you can kind of think about it, that it looks like this, about. Because this is at a little bit of an angle, but we are able to see in there. Will it go down to Cat 3? Nicole, again, we're not even worried about that right now. What you need to be worried about is that there will be catastrophic impacts in the Tampa area. Yep, what did I tell you? NOAA 49 is flying at 41,000 feet. So evidently that's a signal that it is not a low-level mission. I kind of knew it because NOAA 9, it sounds familiar, and usually that's a signal that it's an upper-level drop zone. Believe me, folks, believe me, I know a lot of my mission identifiers here. I've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years. No, wait, more than 10 years. So I know what I'm looking for. NOAA 9, not always NOAA 9, but whatever identifier that is, sometimes they identify it with each different system. So in this case, it's NOAA 49. That is Gonzo. I know all my airplanes. Gonzo, Miss Piggy, Kermit. Yeah, Miss Piggy, Kermit, Gonzo. Gonzo is the G4 aircraft. Thank you, some ways. I do appreciate that. I may not sound very smart, but I'll tell you what. I'm so smart that I think this is a Cat 5 right now. Based on the improvements, it could very well be. But of course, But yeah, this really, oh man, this eye really cleared. And look how symmetrical that is. That really has compacted itself. This is very compact again. Very compact. Yes. Look it up. Look it up. They name their aircraft. Miss Piggy and Kermit are the P3 Orion aircraft. And then Gonzo's the G4 aircraft. Or G5, G4. Yeah, G4, wait, G5, yeah. Man, this thing is a black dot on the GOES 16 band. The GOES 16 band, it's a black dot on this hurricane. Sky blue down to the surface. After the eyewall replacement cycle with violent Hurricane Milton last night, it appears that Milton has fully rebounded from that eyewall replacement cycle, and re-strengthening is underway as Milton moves eastward at about 9 to 10 miles per hour. I'm doing an update for you guys on Twitter. Based on the continued warming of the eye with a very intense symmetrical CDO surrounding the eye, my initial wind intensity is being bumped to 160 miles an hour, and pressure is down to 918 millibars, making Milton a Category 5 hurricane once again. Okay. I'm getting that out. So you guys probably got a notification, whoever follows me on Twitter. Yeah, so based on the initial, okay, so this is not official from the National Hurricane Center. And actually, how would you guys like me to do my own report here? Almost like a little weather report, but on a hurricane. Let me know in chat. Oh, there's our first yes. Yee. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. I call it Twitter. I know it's not Twitter, folks, but I'm just going to keep on calling that because honestly, it makes better sense than saying X. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. This is the early afternoon analysis on Major Hurricane Milton for the 11 o'clock 14 a.m. or about precisely. This would be 1814 Zulu time for October the 8th, 2024. So as we do take a look at the system currently right now, after the earlier eyewall replacement cycle last night, which took about 8 hours to complete, which took a little longer than what we thought, took about 12 hours to fully complete that eyewall replacement cycle. Relatively fast for a system this small still. So once that eyewall replacement cycle did occur, the eye initially was about 25 miles in diameter. Later on overnight, Recon did find peak flight level winds of about 150 knots, translating this down to initially about 145 miles an hour. However, though, the recent missions that flew through the system did indicate that the pressure has fallen to 923 millibars, but given the continued improvement with the CDO structure being very symmetrical in all quadrants, intense lightning throughout the most of the eye wall with a very circular clear sky blue eye. The initial wind, my estimated wind intensity on this system is now being increased to 160 miles an hour, and the pressure is down to 918 millibars. Based on this, Milton has re-intensified to a Category 5 hurricane. Now, this is not the official intensity from the National Hurricane Center, and please use this with caution. But based on my satellite estimates, clearing of the eye, and all the described above, based on pressure falls, we are seeing a Category 5 hurricane now. And this means that Milton is now a Category 5, once again on the Sampson-Simpson scale, and further strengthening is possible through the next 6 to 12 hours as it moves generally towards the east. Now, of course, there are... now the question really remains, how much stronger and how long will this last before it encounters negative environments for shear and drier air? Well, latest models do indicate that the peak intensity is occurring within this time frame, and a level off and plateau of intensity is expected shortly thereafter. So the peak intensity has not been indicated on the official or on my actual intensity forecast, and I do see a peak intensity of 160 miles an hour, but actually 165 miles an hour based on possibly an eyewall replacement cycle later on tonight into the early morning hours tomorrow. And when should that occur will be very important. But regardless of how intense this hurricane is, catastrophic to unsurvivable impacts are expected for the Florida coast by Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. So now the system has moved generally eastward, being steered by a trough that has been sampled stronger, a little stronger than what models did project early on. But the system is expected to get yanked northeastward by another trough that is located over the Midwest. This trough is already on its way down out of Texas and Louisiana and should then begin to yank the storm northeastward at increasing forward speed of about 15 to maybe 18 miles an hour. And the landfall projection on this has been shifted south slightly from before. And I do now forecast a landfall somewhere in the Sarasota area, with the northern eyewall expected to pass over portions there of Pinellas Park, Riverview area. Now, of course, the track forecast air for this time frame is within 50 to 70 miles, and users are not to focus on the exact intensity of this hurricane, as impacts will spread well away from the system. And regardless of how strong this will be, if it's a Category 3 or 4, this will be an unsurvivable situation where we have storm surge in excess of 12 to 15 feet, perhaps even 18 feet in some areas, which is up to 2-story buildings, catastrophic wind damage along the coast, surf waves that are over 50 feet high, and unsurvivable flooding from storm surge and freshwater flooding. So please take this very seriously, folks, as this is a very intense hurricane with a clearing eye as we speak. Man, this is really showing up. And that's a briefing, this early afternoon briefing at around 18:19 Zulu time for October the 8th, 2024 on Tuesday. So how do you guys like that briefing? So my initial wind intensity is being bumped to 160 on this system. Hello, Tyler. What's up, brother Tyler? I love your last name, by the way, Tyler Miglianti. It has that noodle pronunciation. You know, when you think about pasta, like rigatoni, What's the boat type hostage name? Faratelli or something. And then, you it just, and Miglianti has that, Nice. Well, Tyler, guess what? Guess what, Tyler? Farfelli, I think that's what they call it. We have a Category 5 hurricane, Tyler. Not officially from the NHC. It's 155 from the NHC, but my estimation is 160 miles an hour. I don't know if you agree with me on that. We'll keep an eye on this. Now, my intensity is hourly basis. So right now, I see this 150 or 160, but it could. Yeah, this is. And I mean, look how symmetrical this eye is. Or this, yeah, the eye in the CDO. It's in a couple of hours, Tyler, but based on the satellite presentation, the estimated central pressure is 918 millibars. 918 millibars. So we're back into the teens. But yeah, Tampa Bay landfall cannot be ruled out. Man, look at all the few of the storm chasers already coming down here. And man, these cameras are going to be pretty spectacular to look at tomorrow. I'm not doing a panel view tomorrow with the webcams because if these cameras do go out, I don't want to have limitation on what I presentate. So I'm just going to use this format. What I'm using right now. Hey, someone's out there fishing for something. I like the rocks too. The rocks in the water makes that pier look almost like Finding Nemo-ish. Is it going to continue to drop? Tyler is saying. It's very hard right now to say for sure. We could have what we call pressure perturbations. So yesterday we could have very well had a drop of 20 millibars. We had a pressure drop of 20 millibars per hour at one point, I'm sure. So what happens is as the system is trying to intensify, what you actually have in place, this is like the pressure level, okay? So if you watch my hand, we could have pressures that go like this. Like this is basically 10-minute increments. The pressure could actually, it's called gravity wave dropping. So the pressure could drop 2 millibars in 1 hour and drop 15 millibars in 1 hour and then go up 2 millibars the next. So we could have rapid, what we're seeing here, we could have rapid, unexpected intensity fluctuations that are not even predicted hours in advance. So that's why we really gotta monitor the satellite presentation to give us a general idea. But right now, it's a 155, 160 mile an hour hurricane right now. It is very intense. Leslie, by the way, is a tropical storm, so we only have one hurricane out there. Still interested in this area. They have not highlighted it very much, or not up the chances. But yeah, we got the new advisory out, the new products, or the new graphics, I should say. And so, yes, this is the latest. it looks like now, if we look at the track, exactly making points here, it will pass just to the south of Tampa Bay, according to the exact center where between the 2 points are. But this could still move northward, and there's that cone of uncertainty still showing us where this could move towards. But look at all the hurricane warnings. I don't know if you're still here, Tyler. Oh, Clearwater Beach, yes, Tyler, will sustain major destruction. Oh, you changed your name, Tyler, to M now, Tyler M. I guess you did not want your full last name to be disguised. Sorry. But I like that name, Miglianti. I'm actually surprised I could even say that really good. Some words I can just say too well, and some I can't. Let me see the... Yes, so this did not... Okay, I guess these don't update. This did not update only for the complete advisory. Yeah, so we won't get our complete advisory packages in until we get our complete advisory. So the intermediate is just to update the positioning more than anything. Oh, by the way, Tyler, I would like to talk to Braden. I've been messaging him on Discord recently because I wanted to set up a time to talk to him about this new computer and everything. To set up an important meeting with him about, because I may want to push it a little further. So if you can get in contact with him, please, that would be great. Yeah, Conair is 70 miles. Okay, I think that really is it. Man, I want to stay on live. But I want to have that energy for tonight or for this afternoon. And there's no recon mission in yet. But I will go live literally. When they start getting out there, I'll set up my next live stream. And so we can get actual real-time data. Which, by the way, is why I may miss work today. I'm still considering it. Man, there's even lightning popping up here on the advanced lightning technique. Okay, this just went out on me again. Why does it keep on doing this? I had it set. Oh my goodness, all that lightning. We're up to 70 lightning strikes. Man, look at all of them. They're just scattered about. Scattered about. This is my work, yes. I will be live, though. Again, if I miss work today, I will be live around 5 o'clock. Well, probably even earlier than that. Yeah, I don't think at this point, I'm leaning towards not going. Because that eye did clear. And it does look like it's continuing to clear and intensify. This is very much a Category 5 at this point. Oh my gosh, yes. That eye is very, very clear now. So yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock my time. I do want to eat lunch, take a quick power nap. Believe me, I need the energy for this. I need my energy to be good so I can be able to give you guys these updates. All right, but I will be back in about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours-ish. Once the new Recon gets in there, we will give you those updates. All right, but I do want to take a break, get some food, get some water, and take a quick power nap. And I will be back at around probably 4 o'clock this afternoon. Not a 100% guarantee, but me saying this now makes me think I will probably have to stay home today. Man, I'm going to make history at missing my job at work, my second job, that is, to make this all possible. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm really doing this because we need to save lives. We really do. All right. All right. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I will be back in 4 or 5 hours. I will let you all know in a community post in about an hour, in roughly an hour, on what my plan of attack is. All right. Please look for that community post on YouTube by going to the community tab for that. All right. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in for this morning update, morning, early afternoon update on Milton. We will be back maybe this afternoon, but definitely by tonight, we will be streaming this. Whether you like it or not, we will be here live. All right. Peace out, folks. See you in a little bit.